All right, today we are diving deep into the secrets of psychological allure, pulling from the incredible work of Alina Chamberlain. And listen, this isn't just about being charming. We're talking about understanding the very architecture of devotion and how you can build it.
So let's just kick things off with a pretty big question. Can you actually architect devotion? I mean, can you intentionally construct that deep, all-consuming connection with someone, piece by piece? Well, the ideas we're exploring today suggest the answer is a resounding yes. Let's get into how.
So, what even is psychological allure? Well, think of it as the art of managing his mental real estate. The entire goal is to take the simple act of him just thinking about you and transform it into this powerful, looping cycle of emotional investment. It's about being proactive, not passive, when it comes to attraction.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we're going to break down the absolute foundation, the attention attachment law. Then we'll uncover the power of what's called the mirror of greatness. From there, we'll get super practical with your psychological toolkit, and we'll wrap up with a crucial preparation step, the mirror ritual. Let's dive in.
Okay, let's start with the bedrock of this entire philosophy, the attention attachment law. This is really the engine that makes psychological allure work, and getting a handle on this is absolutely the most critical first step.
And the law itself, it's actually super simple, but wow, is it profound. Attention is the gateway to attachment, period. Wherever his mind consistently goes, his emotions, they have no choice but to follow. So if you want to capture his heart, you have to start by capturing his thoughts.
Okay, so here's where the brain science gets really cool. When a man is constantly thinking about you, his brain literally has to justify why it's spending all that energy. It starts to think, wow, I'm spending a lot of my focus on her. And his subconscious just naturally concludes, she must be incredibly valuable. It creates this powerful feedback loop.
And this is what shows you just how much the tables can turn. By managing his mental space, you're not just another person in his life anymore. You become the very lens through which he starts to see his own world, his own happiness. You become the center.
So, if capturing his attention is the mission, how on earth do you do it? Well, that brings us right to our next big idea, the mirror of greatness. This is all about making your presence not just something he wants, but something he feels like he needs.
And this quote, honestly, it says it all. It lays out one of the most powerful secrets of attraction. It's not just about how amazing he thinks you are. The real magic is in how amazing you make him feel about himself. That is the key.
Think of it this way. With other people, he might feel capable. With you, he feels like he could conquer the world. Around others, he feels intelligent. But with you, he feels like a genius. Your presence amplifies all his best qualities, making him feel like the ultimate version of himself. And that's a feeling he'll start to crave.
So your role becomes this high-frequency mirror. And look, this is not about showering him with empty flattery. No way. It's about genuinely seeing his best qualities. His drive, his wit, his kindness, and reflecting them back to him so clearly that when he's with you, he sees the man he's always wanted to be.
And the result of this is potent. When he starts to associate you with that feeling of being his absolute best self, he develops a psychological addiction to being in your company. You basically become this emotional sanctuary for him that he just can't get anywhere else.
Okay, so we've got the what and the why. Now let's get into the how. How do you actually put these ideas into practice without feeling like you're reading from a script? It's all about building your own personal, authentic toolkit.
But listen, this is so important. This is not about becoming someone you're not. True mastery, the real power, comes from tailoring these principles to fit your unique personality. Authenticity is the secret ingredient that makes all of this work.
So, how do you pick your tools? First off, be selective. Don't try to do everything at once. Just pick 2 or 3 practices that really feel right, that feel aligned with who you are. Second, you have to prioritize flow. These should feel like a natural part of your conversations, not like you're checking things off a list. And finally, remember that true seduction is about mutual pleasure. This should feel good and effortless for both of you.
All right, we're at our final piece of the puzzle, and you could argue it's the most important one, the prep work. Because before you can project this kind of magnetic allure outward, you have to feel it and own it inward. And that is exactly what the mirror ritual is for.
You know, the idea here is simple, but it's so profound. You just can't fake real magnetism. It has to come from a place of genuine self-confidence. I mean, how can you expect him to be captivated by you if you aren't a little captivated by yourself first? It all starts with you.
And here's a simple, private practice to help you cultivate that. It starts with just standing in front of a mirror and observing yourself. Get familiar with your expressions, your movements, the sound of your own voice. The goal is to get to that point of an internal shift, that moment you look at your reflection and feel a real jolt of confidence and power. That's the moment you know you're ready.
So in the end, what this all comes down to is a massive shift in how you see yourself. You're not just a participant in his story. By understanding these principles, you become the very lens through which he sees not only his world, but his own greatest potential. And that is a truly powerful place to be.
You can find the electronic version of book She Who Awakens by Alina Chamberlain at wishforlove.org.